Salam alaikum, this is video 2. So as stated, when the veil is removed off of the celestial, 50,000 celestial yesteryear, humanity is going to see all of the horror that took place within the 50,000 celestial year, and they will not have the fortitude to deal with that on their own. So what will have to happen is they're going to need the Christ consciousness of Islam to endure. And as stated, the Christ consciousness is inclusive of Judaism and Christianity. The Prophet Musa, the message delivered from Prophet Musa, as well as the message delivered from Prophet Isa, the one born of a virgin. And all of them, all the prophets had DMT, because you got to have DMT to connect with the Akashic records, right? To open the crown chakra, right? So there was none from Europe, okay? Now, Europe may have had some wise men, but none of them were prophets as it relates to biblical Hebrew Israelite prophets, right? Okay, now so we did that. We went to video 2. Okay, so now the new galactic aligned 50,000 celestial year cycle began in the celestial house of Ramadan. Okay. Wait. Let me do it again. Okay, the new galactic aligned 50,000 celestial year cycle began in the celestial house of the Ramadan cardinal sun, and it began Ramadan 1, 1444, which was March 23rd, the same time of the spring equinox, right? And that was 2023, when the saints came marching in, Ramadan 6, 1444, March 28th, 2023. And at the same time, Pluto entered Aquarius. So the new age of Aquarius began also Ramadan 1st, 1444, March 23rd, 2023, when Pluto entered Aquarius, and Mars, the natal Mars, right, entered its natal sun house, which was Cassiopeia, named after the black Hebrew Israelite queen, right? The Ethiopian, that's why they call it Ethiopia, but it's called Cassiopeia, but it's really Ethiopia, named after Hebrew Israelite queen. So the natal mother sign of the Republic America is the Black Queen, named after the Black Queen, as well as Pluto exited Capricorn, right? Also transcending death, the sword, and entered its new home for 20 some odd years, which is the moon sign of the Republic America. So the Republic America is scheduled for a great Barakah, and Barakah is a reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's very favored. Don't fuck it up, okay, by getting involved in the fake Ashkenazis' desire to completely annihilate all of the Palestinians, the nation of Palestine, those individuals, 2 million individuals who remain, which are the remains of what is left of the Palestinian nation, because over 6 million of them are scattered throughout the world, and because they don't have the right to return to their homeland, their indigenous homeland. So don't get involved in that synagogue of Satan. Don't be triggered by, oh, the Jews got to have a homeland, because my ancestors are the Jews that were brought here and forced into the institution of slavery, right? As stated, the New Age began, and it's represented by the Phenix, Ramadan, Golden Lotus, full moon, lunar eclipse in the celestial house of Ramadan, which was Rabi al Wal 14, September 20 September 29th. Excuse me. No, it wasn't that. Oh yeah. Was Rabi al Wal 14, September 29th, 2023, which represents that was a full moon in the celestial house of Ariel, right? Aries, Israel. Um, and that was a full moon as stated, and that full moons represent the conclusion of an event. So the kingdom is here, the consciousness is here, the new age is here, and the 50,000 and the heavens is realigned for the next 50,000 celestial year. Don't let the Zionists, the Ashkenazis, deceive you, America, and they were going to try to cause civil war. They're going to try to cause America to have bloodshed and tell you it's Muslims, it's Muslim. Hamas called for Antifada. If Hamas could call for a global antifada, right? A global uprising, right? Then they could surely get the Zionists out of their holy land, right? But they don't have that capacity, okay, to call for a global antifada. That is some propaganda. Spread it against America. I mean, spread it against the Muslims, right? Because you're going to think everybody who says Ashhadu la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, or every time you hear Allahu Akbar, you're going to try to want to fight the Muslims, or you want to go to the mosque and try to destroy their mosque. They want that. That's what they want. America has already won. America has already won. The Zionists the Ashkenazis are at the scrimmage line trying to provoke a fight, a battle, right? Because that's what that siren was for, to let the world know that the beast had fallen. Well, the Christ was born, has been born. Born again, is on earth, right? As it relates to the Christ consciousness, and the beast has fallen, been kicked from the heavens. Okay, so now they want global war, right? To try to get control of the Holy Land so they can take all the natural resources for themselves and maintain their Nazi white supremacy, right? And control of all the world, of all the global humanity. America, you better be smart, because this is part of your legacy that they're messing with. Okay, so the cycle has been complete. They no longer have spiritual control. They no longer have spiritual power. So you better recognize that. Now, those who support the gin-filled demonic Neanderthal red dragon, because remember, the red dragon will pursue the lady, and he has, of Revelation 12, and he has pursued my family. He has pursued my children. My son is currently incarcerated in Ohio, right? After being claimed to be, after they claimed him to be part of a conspiracy, right? So, and that is just a attempt to railroad him so that I will go. So, in the point when he was, incarcerated, I was supposed to go against PDJT and support the Dixiecrats, because it's the Dixiecrats that did that. It's the Democrats, okay? Because when I was against Trump, when I was against PDJT, I didn't see none of this kind of attack against me. I didn't see that. I didn't see those attacks against my family. Only when Biden got in office did I see these attacks against my family. Okay, so now, yeah, so he's been attacking my family. Okay, and so anyway, so as I said, so those who support the gin-filled demonic Neanderthal red dragon rat child, the Ashkenazi rat child, and Ashkenazi represents who the Bukranians are, and that's why they continue to send them all the money and wealth of America, regardless of what's going on in America, because the Ashkenazis and the Zionists that occupy the Holy Land of Palestine are one people. They are one nation. They are the same people who caused under Hitler caused the Holocaust and the death of over 6 million Jews, my ancestors, and also killed over 30,000 Russians. So when Russia says they're fighting the Nazis, they're fighting the Fourth Reich, right, that are currently occupying the Holy Land of Palestine, as well as those who are still remain in Ukraine. Okay, those are Nazis. So think about what they did to um, my ancestors during the Holocaust. Think about what they did that and killed over 26 million of them, and gassed them, had no mercy to the women, children, no regard, and stole their wealth, right? And put it in the Vatican, right? The Rothschild Vatican, right? And said Rothschild was responsible. Ratchild was responsible. Ratchild was responsible for that. Okay, the World War II. Now, anyway, so those who support the Ratchild, his KKK, Ku Klux Klan, Jin Crowleyanity, which is the worship of Aleister Crowley, which the Dixiecrats do. And those who support the Dixiecrat rhinos supports the synagogue of Satan and white supremacy. They support the Nazi abomination. They support his Baphomet female, or female represents FI, represents a female impersonator, right? So those who support his Baphomet female trans blender, right? Blending of the genders, right? The sexes, right? Surgically transblendering people, right? So and Baphomet, the wife of the Nazi abomination, because the abomination is stated to be related to Hitler, right? His grandson, right? So he don't give a freak about Muslims or Jews or Christians. He don't, right? And what was he against but Putin, right? He was very much against Putin. Okay, so those who support the Rat Child, Red Dragon, and Red Dragon, Rat Child, Hitler was supposed to be related to Rat Child as well. So if, as stated before, if Hitler was a rat child and the abomination is Hitler's grandson, then he too is a rat child, right? So he don't care about Muslims. That makes him a Nazi, an Ashkenazi, right? And his bride is a Baphomet female trans blender, female impersonator, and she is his man bride, or he is his man bride. That's his man bride. And they are the parents of the new religiously homosexual damnation, pizza party, culture of death, and as it relates to the synagogue of legitimizing the synagogue of Satan. Okay, and the synagogue of Satan, Satanic, right? The satanic synagogue of Satan, right? Which was supposed to be represented by Saturn, right? The body, right? They are the occupiers of the Afrochromatic holiest of holies, Jerusalem, the Alkebulan, which represents Africa, Afrochromatic nation of Palestine. And that's what they will be supporting if they support the so-called Rothschild synagogue of Satan and its occupation of the Holy Land. Okay, and they will be supporting that yesteryear cycle because they are to be that occupation is to be ended. It's part of the 50,000 celestial yesteryear, so it's to be ended, right? It's to be removed. The occupation is to end, and Palestine is to be made whole for Muslims, Christians, and Jews. And I say that in that order because Muslims are the predominant back there, predominantly is the majority of the population, then Christians and Jews, but all are to be honored and respected equally, right? Okay, so the prophet born of the Virgin is a D&T, melanin richly black, Afrochromatic, Hebrew, okay, Israelite, right? Now, so, alhamdulillah, mashallah, I am Israel of the house of Ariel, right? Of the angle of Aries, right? The constellation of Aries, right? And I, alhamdulillah, am a cardinal Ramadan moon. I am the cardinal Ramadan sun, right? Um, Now, there's a fixed sun, right? And that would be Leo. There's a mutable sun, and that would be Jupiter, because all three planes have a sun. There's a mutable sun, Jupiter. There's a mutable, I mean, a fixed sun, that's Leo, right? And they all represent the three suns of the celestial sphere. Okay, so now, as I said, I have the celestial seal, and that is a sword as well as a seal. And I have been given, as I said, the celestial sword. That's the word, right? The words, but the S is in the beginning, so it's a sword because there's power in the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's a sword. It cuts through all lies and deceptions, right? The truth. MashaAllah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I have that sword from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the knowledge of Islam and knowledge of His word, the Holy Quran, right? MashaAllah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, when, as stated, when the Christ comes, the Christ consciousness comes, right? When Israel comes, right? MashaAllah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the head of Israel, and I am the head of Israel. Alhamdulillah, with the Christ consciousness, I am the head of Israel, MashaAllah. The new Adam, right? MashaAllah, to bring forth the new Adam, the new man, right? The new age, the new Aquarius, the new age, the new celestial year, the new consciousness, right? So, what does it say? When Christ comes, okay, He will bring hell with Him, and that's Ceres, okay? That's the twin star of the sun, right? And it's out there by the Kuiper Belt, and it's coming closer and closer, which is causing all this climate change, right? Okay, we're going to go to video 3.